don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. This thing's rickety back and forth, back and forth. I just finished chapter 6 of my book. I actually didn't find much to really talk about in this one. I do wish, however, that I did explain the deer, the L deer, a little better. I would have liked to go into more of the mane, because I wanted them to have basically a thicker mane, things like that, the horns. Because they're like deer, but they're not. It's kind of like a chimera type situation where they're mixed with other creatures. What I had in mind was just like, I like what Final Fantasy does in some of their characters, where like you see a rabbit, but it's got like the mane of a dragon or the mane of a lion, and it's just got like the tail of a what would that tail be? More of a kangaroo-like tail. So I've always liked that, where you mix and match creatures, basically what Pokemon does. So I wish that I would have gone more into the description. Like, that's basically what I did with my Drake Wolf. It's basically because everyone knows what a drake is. It's basically a land-like dragon. Well, drake is a dragon, but mine are land-based. They don't have wings. They crawl along the ground like massive lizard, like Komodo dragons, but bigger, and basically mixed with a wolf. So I basically gave them like a mane. The snout has scales. It cuts into hair. And then his body's primarily all scales. The Drake Wolf has paws of fur. But it's primarily a completely lizard-like tail. No patches of hair on it whatsoever. It's mainly the paws and a bit of the face where the hair is at. And I like that mindset. I think it goes down the neck a bit, but it's got more of a wolf-like body. However, with a lizard-like tail, it's got the wolf-like structure, but the body is more coated in scales. So I was like, you know what? I like mixing and matching and making things look better. I actually have a drawing of it, but I don't know if I'll ever post it or not. I like to draw the creatures. I like to get an actual visual, so that way when I describe them, I have it. The problem is, when I have a visual, I think I'm less likely to describe it because I see it. But when I'm describing it, because it's in my head, I think I do a little better job describing. We'll find out. I'm trying to balance it. Maybe I'll start drawing them after I've described them. That way I know I've already gotten all the detail down, and my editors can be like, oh, you don't need this vague detail about this one patch of hair that just doesn't, I mean, unless it's relevant to the story, which most of the time, if you're describing a creature, just like a character flaw, I see that's very appropriate. It's like if someone's a fidgety person, always needing to do something with something, because then you could always make that relevant, or you could make it annoying, like someone who always needs to fidget. It could be an annoyance for another character, doing things like that, so it becomes relevant, that you have a character who's always doing something that when it annoys someone else, then it becomes relevant. But other than that, it's not relevant. But it does add more to the character sometimes. It just so people get a visual of just like a character always doing his quirk. Like you can imagine someone angry doing this, and do they get more fast paced? Do they slow down? What? Yeah. So that's the little things I enjoy. So hopefully I'll find a middle ground for all of that. I do wish I'd described it more. I feel like I had described the elf a little too much because she wasn't really relevant whatsoever. Why did it matter about her streaks of hair? But I guess it's because in my mind, it's the elegance and the whole majesticness of the moment that makes you want to capture everything. So the boys noticed everything. So I think that's where my mind was at, but at the same time, when I'm rereading, I'm like, you know what? I know this character isn't important. Why? But the thing is, I can always make her important. I can always, like, that's the thing you noticed in books when characters will be mentioned, and their characters are normally drawn or written as vague the first time you meet them. And then the second time you meet them, they'll just say, oh, the character from yada yada. Honestly, what I could do is just describe about the 3 black streaks along her blonde hair. Just like something like that will be like, oh, I know where that person's from. So I might bring her back at some point. I actually have an idea now that I'm talking about it. I've had an idea for this character, but not this one particularly. It was another character. I could literally just mold them together. Yeah, so I have the entire thing mapped out. It's crazy. I just need the time and resources to do it. I don't have the time. I have no time whatsoever. But I'll get there. I'll get there. I might need to just go part-time instead of full-time at where I work. I haven't had time to write a single word as of right now. As of when you're depending on when you're watching this, because honestly, if I have a scraggly white beard, then odds are I've already gotten pretty good at writing, and I'm not holding a day-to-day job other than writing. Because I'm not going to be like one of those writers who ignores his fans and just I'm gonna commit to my stories. I need to finish my stories. It's not about my fans. It's about finishing my characters' journeys. That's what it's about. I respect my characters too much not to conclude their stories. I don't want to leave them up in limbo. Every one of us have got invested in a story that just doesn't end. It never got finished. It just the writer started or the series started and then it just stops. And it irks us because we want to know conclusion. That's why I do it. I do it for my characters. I finish it for my characters. Even if the thing makes the readers unhappy, it's primarily for the characters' conclusion, because the characters need an ending story. We all need a conclusion to our story, and I believe characters, fictional characters, are no different. Even though I already know their whole story, I haven't put it down for others. So I'm writing it down for everyone else, because I already know how the stories end. All my stories end. Plan them through. Not entirely. There are little things that do veer as I'm writing, so it kind of creates little segments in the story, but I pretty much stick close to my original thought. Funny how long I rambled on this one. Yeah, but I love to write. I might do a little series on tips and tricks and how to write, just because I know how to, and dictation is a tool. Utilize it. Just utilize it. Thank you all for watching. Rant to you next time. Toodles.